good in some way respects, and sometimes it's just awful. All right, so that's the second time in that it has just terminated a live stream right in the middle, no explanation. So hopefully the one person that was watching will figure out that it's I can't restart that one, but I can start a new stream. So here I am, and maybe we'll try and tie the two together at some point in the future. No one watching now. There was one person. Hopefully, like I said, they'll hop over. But we'll start on the beer. I was just about to talk about the beer, and reposition just a bit here, and we are going to look at the beer. Here we go. Okay. So the first one here we're going to talk about is the passion fruit. I'm not going to talk a lot about it. I'm just going to tell you what it is. Passion fruit wheat ale, and then we'll talk a little bit about the Stewart Street. The passion fruit wheat ale is just that, I guess, from Dalat. Dalat is in the central mountains of Vietnam, and I think it's famous for coffee, actually. But we'll find out. That's one of the places on my list that I really want to go to. Dalat is one of the less appreciated, I think, destinations in Vietnam, at least by tourists, foreign tourists. Uh, this. Oh, let me taste it. Yeah, so it's a light beer. It has a tart taste, um, sweet texture. Let's get that back up. Downsides of vlogging is the camera can't follow you. So I hope that person comes back. I felt like I was talking. Although it does make me feel like this, it's not just a technical error. The one person is actually watching. Should be broadcasting to all Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Anyway, while I drink this delicious passion fruit, I want to tell you about Stewart Street. Now, it may seem like just reading their webpage, I kind of am, but I have read it before. I'm just so okay. So there's I do have to admit something here. I wanted to do the beer thing, but it's kind of the Vietnam craft beer thing. Craft beer has really exploded here in popularity. It's something young people are very into. The United States. I think it came over from the United States, which brings us to Pasteur Street. So I'm just going to read from their webpage. I know I hate reading things on the internet, but simple idea to combine American craft brewing techniques with fresh local Vietnamese ingredients to create an amazing craft beer. Okay. So this particular company is actually emulating the craft beer explosion in the U.S. It's actually interesting to me to see where Americans are sharing beer knowledge and actually doing it well with other countries. We're not known for being like having the best taste in food and drink. At least, the average American's not. But the people that are really into craft beer, they're making really good craft beer in the U.S. Yeah, there's still plenty of people that are just, having a Bud Light. In fact, that's probably the majority of people. But yeah, the people that are into beer are making good beer, and that has caught on in Vietnam. And we'll see what year this company started. So this company is not a it's not a Hanoi company. Sorry, I try to keep everything local, but this is a really good beer place. It's a really good uh, enterprise. It's just a good representation of Vietnam, contemporary Vietnam. So before anyone says, "Ah, yes, but this is not, traditional culture." Yeah, when you travel, you don't have to stick to um, the expected. You know what I mean? Like, yes, of course, you should see the temples and you should see the water puppet theater, like I mentioned. You should see those places and experience that. That's part of the culture. But it's also not a museum and it's not a Disney ride. It's not just what you expected to see before you came. There's a craft beer scene here, and it really is a Vietnamese craft beer scene. And just because it's contemporary doesn't make it something you shouldn't, consider. You should go there. I'll give you the best example I can think of this. Um, Years ago, I went to London with an ex, and when we were deciding where to eat one afternoon, evening, whatever it was, I said, there's a big sushi scene here in Soho, and he said, well, we can't do that. It's London, it's not Tokyo. We've got to go to a pub. And I was like, not that I'm against going to a pub. That's a great idea, but I was like, what do you mean? That's what's popular here right now. We're here now. You should always try to experience the place you're in at the time you're in it, not to ignore any of the great history of any of the places you go. Yeah, I mean, there's great sites here when they open up. There's great historic sites, and I want to go to those and see those. But I also don't want to pretend that this isn't now. There is a burgeoning craft beer scene. Actually, it's a pretty developed craft beer scene in Vietnam. And we will go to some Hanoi breweries. If you saw the previous episode where I went to, in my neighborhood, a bar called Standing Bar, totally recommend it if you come to Hanoi. It's outside the historic district. It's expat, for sure. But but it's not tourist. It's a good way to get outside the tourist mainstream. All right, we were going to see how long this place has been here. And what to say? That's a strange thing for the website not to say. I don't know. Anyway, this is Saigon. The company started in Saigon. There's half dozen maybe locations around Vietnam now. So there's still not a huge number of them, but if you're in a place where there is one, you should definitely try it. Pasteur Street has good beer, and it's a restaurant as well, so it's good for. I didn't come for dinner, but okay. Now, oh yes, move on. Let's move on to the craft beer scene, or maybe I should just say the beer scene in general here in Vietnam. I don't know what caused the disconnect, guys. I know anybody watching this will be watching in the future now because I've lost all viewers because it ended the stream. It didn't just disconnect, it ended the stream. So, the lesson for the future is, I guess, try different software. That's the other thing I was going to talk about on our list of practicalities. Um, there's, there's new software, and this trial run on this software runs out next week. And I got to say, it's lacking some big ways. Like, this cannot happen on the regular. If I'm going to do streams, like, if I get one or two people watching, I can't lose them. It can't just disconnect and end the stream 5 minutes into it. If I'm planning on doing an hour stream, especially if I had guests, in the future, I would like to create a structure where I have lots of guests come on the show. And they're just friends of mine, not celebrities. Although if you're a celebrity watching in the future, call. But they're friends I've traveled with, friends I would like to have traveled with, people with lots of travel experience and people with none. People I think it'd be interesting to talk to while I'm out and about, going places and doing things. And if I can actually get them to call in and do the show, I can't lose them. I can't have the software just disconnect. What is that about? That's infuriating, really. All right, well, let's move on. To be honest, I'm trying to close uh, these streams off into a fixed time. Trying to truncate the ones I've been doing because I've had a really bad habit of streaming right where I think it's time to stop, and then I'm like, but we can do this other thing, and then I add another 20 or 30 minutes, and that means that the end video for watching later is far longer than I had intended it to be, and honestly, the longer a video is, the less likely people are going to click. Live streams are already tend to be very long. People go, yeah, I'm not going to watch that. If it was live and it's not now, I'm not watching it, which is understandable. It's one of the downsides of doing it this way. But I think I can build up an audience slowly over time. Somebody doesn't take too much time. But yeah, you leave a stream at 3 hours and no one's clicking on that. And I understand because I don't either. If it's too long, they're just not going to click on it. Well, before we talk about beer in Vietnam, as you can see, I'm almost through my first sample, and I'm drunk already. But that was really good passion fruit. I like that. The next one is the Irish Stout. Now they have two stouts here. They have one called the Irish Stout, the Nitro Irish Stout. Here, let's get rid of this so I'm not holding this and talking about a stout. One complete, one down. Okay, I'm just going to hold it up instead of changing the angle. There you go. Well, that's a dark stout. It's a nice looking beer. That's the Irish Stout. They also have one called Cyclo Stout. Cyclos are the pedal-driven transport. It's the historic transport, the traditional, I guess you'd say, but it's not really used anymore except for tourists. Domestic tourists use them too. If you come to Hanoi, feel free to take one. There's nothing wrong with it. People here do it. I mean, don't ask for him to pedal to the airport or anything, but you take it around the lake and a little through the historic district. You should be able to get it for around $10. I'm sure there's somebody watching this like, oh, I know you can get it cheaper than that. I don't negotiate too hard. But I think when Scott and I did it, we agreed to $5, not in U.S. dollars, but about $5 for the trip around the lake. And then we thought it was going so well, I let him take us through the historic district too, but we didn't negotiate the price. When we got back, he quadrupled the price. I was just like, I don't think that. Maybe double it. That's fine. But such is the way. Yeah, and you can actually go other places in the city if you want to negotiate that. And again, that's fairly cheap to me. But I'm thinking I wouldn't want to pedal for just $10. You better be paying me $6 an hour if you want me to pedal you around town. Of course, you want me to do it. You're just out of luck. I'm not in shape to do it. Anyway, that's what a Cyclo is. The other stout is called Cyclo Stout, and I'm guessing it looks the same, so I could have told you that's what it was, but I bought the cheaper. The Nitro is smooth and creamy, strong roasted coffee and malt notes. Get that a little bit. Now, Cyclo Stout, which I'm not drinking, so I'm not giving you a first-hand account. It is, I can tell you from the menu, It's the gold medal winner in the World Beer Cup in 2016. Brewed with Maru chocolate, as well as a touch of Saigon cinnamon and Moine vanilla. Moine, Moine. So that sounds really good. Um, my guess is it's stronger. This is kind of not so strong, which may be good for if you want to drink a stout, but you don't want to be too powerful. Hey, that's not bad. Beer in Vietnam. That's our next topic. Let me bring up my notes. It's in my notepad called Wikipedia. So this is something that surprised me. Vietnam is one of the world's top 10 markets for beer consumption. If I was a better host, I'd look and see exactly when that started. I wonder if that's like a new thing with this generation or just always has been. With an established, just read the next sentence. An established indigenous beer culture that emerged during French colonization. Now that amazes me. The French are not known for their beer. I know there's the one major French beer, although I can't think of the name of it now. I don't think it's actually called craft beer, but it's not popular internationally. But apparently it left a mark, and yeah, most cities have their own brewery, and I think the locals kind of stick to it. Now, nationally, Saigon is the most popular beer here. That's without a doubt. You just see it everywhere. Here in Illinois, people are about as likely to order as they are about beer Hanoi. But there is beer Hanoi, that's the major one here. And there's a lot of smaller breweries. If you just go into you'll find a ton that are local or domestic, not necessarily local, but domestic beers. Mm. Halita is my favorite. If it's late night and you're in the Circle K and you're wishing you had extra beers, you very well might find a Halita on discount to get two. And it is a good beer. I say it's on discount like it's a good beer. But I got like for Circle K changes their sales every month. But like the past month, you could get two Halitas, not for the price of one, but for some discount. So, and it's the big beer too. So I've really been drinking too much this month. A smart person would buy two and put one in the fridge, but I don't talk to smart people a lot, so I don't know what they would do, to be honest. All right, so we got beer Sagan. Wow. Tiger's popular here. That's the Thailand beer. Tiger. Huda beer. I've not heard of that one. I don't know that one. Vietnam's beer output increased from 3.4 billion in 2015 liters in 2015 to 4.4 billion liters in 2019. That's a pretty sharp increase. All right. Imported beers, Chimay, Hogarden, Hofbrau, Warnsteiner. To be honest, I don't see that much of those foreign beers. The Tiger, I see Tiger in the stores, but most of them are domestically produced. So the market supports its own for good reason. I just note right now we are not going to get through all these beers. I will drink them, rest assured, but I'm not speed drinking, nor do I have any desire to do that. I had planned, I was just saying earlier, I had planned on a 45-minute stream. I don't think that's going to be realistic. Maybe I'll let this stream, since I had to restart, I'll let this go up to 45 minutes. And we'll let that be our time limit. Because you are going to be watching this after the fact. There are no live viewers because I had to restart the stream. which goes back to the new software I mentioned. It all comes around. It all comes for a full circle. All right, now let's move on. Microbreweries and craft beer. This is something that's talked about because we're in the place they mentioned. Oh my God, they mentioned this on TV. I mean, they mentioned Wikipedia. Blah blah blah. Notable examples of Vietnamese breweries that have expanded into the international stage include Pasteur Street Brewing Company. You may be able to get this imported wherever you're at because it is an international beer. It's a craft beer though. There's also one called Heart of Darkness, which mostly exports to Hong Kong and Singapore. All right, I've not seen that one. Blah blah blah. Okay, so there's one called Seven Bridges Brewing. Now you guys have to remember that because I'm just too drunk to remember myself. It's says it's in Da Nang and Hanoi, but I've never seen it. I've been here for 2 years, nearly 2 years. I've not seen Seven Bridges. Maybe I'm just not searching hard enough. Now there's two very popular ones here that I definitely know about, and I have them on the list. There's some other ones we're going to go to according to how long this lasts. Maybe I should mention what I mean by how long this lasts. But let me say they're Fur Brew and Turtle Lake Brewing Company. Fur Brew and Turtle Lake Brewing Company, both based in Hanoi. And then there's another one in Ho Chi Minh City. Hopefully we'll get down there one day. But when I say how long this lasts, this right now is the stretched out that I'm doing. Now, I've mentioned I'm learning right now. I'm learning how to make these. So in a weird sense, this is kind of a blessing that there's no expectation to get out there and get all these episodes made for Hanoi so you can move on to the next place, which is what I want the channel to become a travel channel where we're in a new place on the regular. This might be a good way to transition. Sorry about my sniffling. I sniffle sometimes. It's the strangest thing. Whenever I eat or drink, I have sniffles. I don't know why. It doesn't have to be spicy. There's no rhyme or reason to it, really, but that's the reality. So get ready to listen to it. Probably not the best advertisement for my channel. But that's what I'm talking about. Is my channel. I'm learning how to put these together right now. And so I'm really playing a game every top places. And the lucky thing is there are a lot of craft beer places. And it's really good for the chat aspect. Which brings me to the second topic, what the channel is. It's a vlog. It's a travel vlog. In order to start a travel vlog in 2021, you got to have a little something extra to it. I'll be honest, my extra is my age. I look at most of the travel vlogs out there that have been over the past. I mean, there's been an explosion in them. I say in the past 5 years or so, 5 or 6 years maybe. About the time I moved to China. And they're still doing it. So I can't really compete with them. These people who are younger, more skilled, more I didn't want to try and compete in that range. Mobile streaming, that's really just getting started because you're just getting to a point where a lot of places have the sort of connection that you need to make these sorts of streams. Which is why, I mean, I'm saying this as the thing constantly disconnects me and tells me I'm having problems. But honestly, I don't have that problem when I'm using when I'm not on Wi-Fi. So sometimes Wi-Fi just sucks. Anyway, we're almost to the end of this stout, and then I'll tell you about the next one. I'm really not trying to race through these, but I kind of want to at least mention most of them. The next one is the Jasmine. I think I picked the Jasmine IPA. Jasmine. Yeah, well, I'll taste it. I don't know. We got an amber ale and an IPA. Anyway, yeah, so all these people are doing their travel vlogs, and they've been doing it for a while, and it's really good, and I don't really want to compete in that. There's another reason, too. It's these younger people, they tend to just, to make a over-the-top example, they tend to go to the Taj Mahal, put it on the screen, and then they leap in front of the screen and go, "Hi, it's me, because I'm 25, and I feel like the most important thing in this picture, even though the Taj Mahal is behind me." I'm exaggerating a little. I mean, they're really good at what they do. I don't mean to knock them, but there is a me aspect to it. And as you get older, you realize you're not that fascinating. You are fascinating to yourself at 20 or 25 years old. So they're making videos where they leap in front of the Taj Mahal and go, "Hey guys, it's me again." And I get that, and I'm okay with that. I'm not knocking their videos. But once you get a little older, you realize you're not fascinating. You're not that great. So what do you do? Well, you show what's there more than you show yourself. And also, what really makes something interesting is conversation. So I'm trying to show what's there, but also talk to guests. Now, this is something that is going to take time to build up. I've got one friend, Scott. If you've watched any other videos, then you've seen him. He's doing it regular already. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad he's there doing this stuff. Um, and he makes the stuff interesting because he brings his perspective to it, and he asks questions, and we talk about whatever it is that we're doing, and it really makes the experience more interesting than it would be if it was just me standing in front of something, or even behind the camera and saying, "There it is. There's the thing. Glad you looked at it." So that's the concept of the channel. I'm going to finish this and tell you about the next beer. All right, the next beer is a Jasmine. I mentioned it already. And we are going to figure out whether I ordered the Ice Amber Ale. I need to bring a palate cleanser for this. Take note, Pasteur Street. If you're the one viewer out there, Pasteur Street Brewing Company, include a palate cleanser with your flight of beers. Maybe because it's 5%. It's an IPA. Yeah, definitely an IPA. All right. Locally sourced jasmine flowers and citra hops make for a flavorful and aromatic experience. It's a good strong IPA, but not overpowering. It's good. This is a good craft beer. It's a good craft beer scene, which is why I'm not angry about getting to go out and do, 10 breweries. They're all like this. They're restaurants. They're um, I don't know if any of them are going to have a view quite like this. I gotta say, I love a good streetscape. And just because it's a narrow street with lots of activity, it's very nice. And so this balcony is a really nice balcony. It's a nice spot. That's why I picked it for this stream. And regardless of what I say in future streams, this is totally the best place to come for craft beer. I'll say that every stream. All right, so there's another topic. Did we finish talking about? I'm trying to avoid the last topic. We've got like 15 minutes left by my previous declaration. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to avoid it. No, we did. We talked. Oh, there's beer hoy. We're doing beer hoy tomorrow night. Yeah, tomorrow for dinner. So where you're at early morning, if you're on the East Coast of the U.S. Most of my subscribers, actually, I forget sometimes. I always think, oh, it's my friends back in the States that are watching. Most of my subscribers, and I only have less than 2 dozen at the moment. They're here in Vietnam. Trying to think. I don't know if I have any evidence of whether they're Vietnamese viewers or English-speaking viewers, maybe expats or something, or English-speaking Vietnamese. I don't know. You can see some statistics on Google, on YouTube. On YouTube, it'll tell you where your viewers are. They're in Vietnam. Beyond that, they don't use closed captioning, so they're probably English speakers. I don't know. I'm going to assume it doesn't matter. If I'm speaking English, I won't switch to Vietnamese if I don't speak Vietnamese. That's all the time milking I can do. So I got to move on to the last topic, which I guess is kind of. I mean, I've been talking about it. It's the concept of the channel. So the concept is, I'm traveling. I'm not. It's a blog technically, but I don't want to spend this sort of thing where I'm sitting in front of the camera yakking at it. It will happen for stuff like this. If we're going out for dinner, we went out for buncha the other night, me and Scott, and it was a lot of fun. But the one thing I did that didn't come out so well is I spent the vast majority of the time with the camera pointed at the food, which I thought, in my head made sense. You want to look at food, and I think you do. But there's a point at which, okay, we've seen the food, now let's stop the disembodied voice. At some point you've got to point the camera at you. Now we've got a great ground right here, but I'm not standing in front of the Taj Mahal, so I'm in front of the camera. But a lot of the time for this vlog, I'm going to have the camera facing forward. You'll hear me. We'll get disembodied voice. You'll see whoever my guest is. Hopefully I'll get some regular guests to start doing the show. You'll see them along the bottom or however I arrange it. Like I said, I might switch software, so I'm not sure exactly what it'll look like, but I'm trying to change that. I think too many blogs out there are focused on the blogger and not the blog itself. Now, I get the thing where you want to know who's doing the show. I get that. So, and I want to share things, which is why we have episodes like this. We're actually having a lot more of these now because nothing's open than we would normally. In the future, I hope to switch to 10% yakking at the camera and talking about the show, and 90% seeing cool stuff, or at least doing cool stuff, and you guys can see what's going on while I'm doing it, if not necessarily me doing it. Yeah, so that's the general concept, and discussion. It's half blog, half podcast. So the other half of it is like I gotta get these guests on because getting that discussion going is the only thing that makes it worth watching, in my mind. So many blogs out there are really good. Or just travel channels, whether they consider themselves a vlog or not, doesn't matter. They're really good at getting the shots. They're really good at editing. They're really good at sound and all the technical stuff and putting it together. And I wish I had that kind of skill, and I hope I develop it over time. But the videos cut off at 5 to 10 minutes at most, and usually you tune out before then. And there's a reason for that. The conversation. there is no conversation. They're just showing images. And I've got some of that on my channel if you'll take a look. I mean, mine are even shorter than that, to be sure. You know, take a look. I put together some little clips, and I think it would make great B. I think I did really good putting together B-roll. But then there's nothing else. You know, you've got to have something besides the B-roll. So that's why I'm trying to get people on the channel, people to call in, people to talk to when I'm doing stuff. To be completely fair, I'm kind of glad I'm not getting a lot of people right now, a lot of friends to help out, because if I had had a lot of these friends call in and try to do a show, it would just be, Scott and I called it the other day, the technical issue show. I mean, it's just me learning. You can't really learn to do this live stream stuff until you try to live stream. You won't run into the problem until you try to do it. It'll seem like it's going to be smooth and great, and then it's not. So, so it's kind of a blessing that these friends of mine are wary to do it. I hope they do eventually, but I hope it coincides with me learning how to run this thing fairly smoothly, because right now it's not running fairly smoothly. As you may have noticed from the fact that the entire stream cut out earlier. And I had to start afresh. I mean, I had to rejoin several times when that happened. And eventually it just told me, the stream has ended. And I was like, well, who did that? How come I'm not in control of this? But I guess I got disconnected. I don't know. The spontaneous one here, knock on something woodish, that's concrete, but whatever, has been doing good so far. So hopefully it'll stick around for the next, like I said, I'm going to try and keep it down another 10 minutes. But I do feel like I should get into. I doubt the sound is good enough to use, but I need to redo an intro video. And in the intro video for the channel, I need to explain the greater concept, the large scale concept of the show, which I'm really reluctant to say on camera because it's insane and probably not something I should commit myself to. And I mean, if I can't do it, I can't, right? Can't. So it may be that I can't do it. I'll acknowledge that right from the start. But here's what the effort is, the idea is. Um, most travel vlogs, for that matter, travel shows on TV, take a lot of resources and fly the person to the destination, like say Hanoi. They're based out of New York, so they fly to Hanoi. They spend, I don't know, 2 weeks, a week, 2 weeks, just a breakneck schedule, a breakneck pace of film, get everything you need, get it in the bag, and then they're done and they hop on the plane home. Now, I think they actually may string more than one together at a time, but basically that's what they do, right? And that makes sense. I get that. I'm not knocking them for doing it, but my concept, my idea is, wait for it because I need some bravery to use. The idea is to get 30 days each destination. What I'm trying to produce, what I'm trying to do with the channel. The channel is called Untethered, but the end product, the film I'm trying to make is, the idea is called 30 Days. It's not that originally a title, to be honest, but 30 days in a destination. And I live stream, and I go out and get B-roll, and I try to find everything from local music to local food, local shopping, like just to try to find everything in that destination, which is why I originally called my channel The Green Guide. But that was not really descriptive enough. So I changed it to untethered because if you'll think for a moment, 30 days in this destination, and then we're going to need to make another episode. The next 30 days has to be the next 30 days. There can't be a fly home and relax and take your shoes off and whatever as you've got to back them all up one on one, right? I mean, if you're only producing one edited video, one watchable YouTube video every month, you've got to do that every month, right? And so when I have that little thing at the top of the channel page that says 30-year travel plan, it's not a list of the vacations I'd like to take over the next 30 years. It is 30 years of consecutive. Now, they're not ordered. I went to geography. I got a geography degree. So I got a geography degree, so I think spatially, not temporally. So it's not organized temporally, but it is 30 years worth of 1 month stays is what I'm trying to accomplish over the next 30 years. Now, that's not that impressive right now for you to listen to and go, well, you came up with a kooky plan. Great. Because I haven't done it yet, obviously. And again, maybe it just completely fails and I can't do it at all. But what I'm trying to do is look back in 10 years, be able to say, yeah, I've been traveling for 10 years and boy, are my arms tight. I've been traveling for 10 years and 2 solid years, 1 month here, the next month in a different destination, and then the next one, and the next one, and the next one, all one right after the other. To be fair, to be sure, I'm not saying I would never go home and visit family. I'm not saying I would never take a break. But this is not me doing a shoot for 2 weeks and then going back to home. Maybe in some future episode I can explain how I got to this place in life, which is kind of kooky. But I don't really have a home anymore. I used to live in China for about 5 years, and then I got, obviously, there's been a bit of commotion internationally over the past 2 years. I don't know if you've heard about it, but yeah. So I got locked out. For a while, I thought I had lost everything I owned, but I finally got a friend to go to the old apartment and collect some of the things that were left. I honestly don't care so much about clothes, but there's a few pieces of paperwork that I hope that he was able to get. That was what I was most concerned with. And then so they're sitting in Guangzhou now. Come to think of it, I guess we don't need to have long discussion at some future episode. That was it. So I don't really have a home I go back to. I moved from the United States 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and I got booted out of China. I was getting up the coronavirus business. I didn't get booted out. I left voluntarily. But I thought I would get back. I didn't know that everything was going to close off. This was early on, in the first few weeks of the virus. I left. So so I thought I was going on a beach vacation, and it never even occurred to me that China would close their borders to everyone else. I thought everyone else was going to close their borders to China, but I didn't think it was going to get out. Anyway, the coronavirus we'll discuss ad infinitum. Is that what you said? I'm sure, but we'll leave that at that right now. The point is, this project is I leave nation go directly one that one, and then I leave and go directly to the next 1 month. I then go home at once every couple of years. Obviously missed that in the past couple of years, but yeah, so I'll go home and visit family and do other things that need to be done in the U.S. I'm from Atlanta originally. So I will do that, but not for long stays. And I'm going to try my best every month to be at a new place, making a new episode. We're so close to the end of these. I'm only had 3. So we're actually halfway through. But there's one called Hen Hen, and I got no information on it. So really, it's Hein. I don't know. It's not on the menu, so I don't have any information for you. The others are Saison and a Pale Ale. We're going to start the Saison. I'm actually going to look that one up because I don't know what that is. And I'm going to try not to break this concrete table on live internet TV. All right. I'm going to try the Saison with the card first. We're going to look it up on Wikipedia. I've never even heard of that. Are you guys familiar with this? Just out of the loop. So, that looks like beer right there. Let's see. French. Oh, it's tasty. This is a pale ale. I was trying to get 2 of the same thing, but you can't really get 6 beers without getting to some overlap. Pale ale that is highly carbonated, fruity, spicy, and often bottle conditioned. Don't know what that means. It was historically brewed low alcohol levels. Let's see what this one is. Get my glasses on. Oh, this one does not have low alcohol levels. But modern productions of the style have moderate to high levels of alcohol. 7.2 on this one is pretty high for beer. Along with several other varieties, it is generally classified as a farmhouse ale. I don't know what that means. Blah, blah, blah. We don't know what farmhouse ale is. We'll find out. By the way, we're over 2 minutes on the 45-minute promise I made earlier. But we didn't really believe that anyway, did we? Farmhouse ale is an ancient European tradition where farmers brew beer for consumption on the farm from their own grain. Most farmers would brew for Christmas and or the late summer work. But in areas where they had enough grain, farmers would use beer as the everyday drink. It's good to me. I'll be interested to see how the audio. I'm going to slide the thing over. The flight. All right, so I guess it's time to wrap up, guys. But I guess about saying today in front of the camera is that this is the goal, to try and create a channel where I'm somewhere all the time shooting and posting. If I'm being honest, it's not the best YouTube strategy. They call it, what do they call it? Cannibalizing your own views. If you post too often, you're cannibalizing your own views. But here's my thought on that. You're going to have super fans that want to watch everything you do. Maybe if I don't have any of those. In which case, you don't have to worry about posting too much. So that's what the live streams are for. And that'll be high views and high view time, but not high views. Like just a few people watch, but if you're watching a whole hour, then you get a lot of view time out of it. So that's good. And then I'm going to produce the 30 days segment, which is, I'm maybe even before things open up, I'll do a 30 days here, and I'll call it 30 days ish. I've been here for 2 years, and I'll just show some of the things that I've done on the run up, and it'll be kind of a practice 30 days. But those I do not expect to be more than 15 minutes a most. So a much more watchable length of time. Hopefully I can get good enough that those will draw in higher views. And with of course lower watch time. And I already do shorts. Since I don't have a lot to say about food, I put food in my shorts. And food in my shorts. Sorry. I entertained myself there for a moment. But I do. The shorts are the TikTok, YouTube's answer to TikTok. That's what the shorts are. And I don't dance and I don't sing, so I don't do that. I just go find good food and stick it on the shorts feed. I'm gonna put food in my shorts. Anyway, yeah. So I'm hoping these strategies come together and make for something watchable. Which maybe, if the audio was okay, this stream was. But I gotta tell you guys, we've reached the end of the stream, and I'm trying to get used to saying the catchphrases and all that, but not quite yet. You know, if you enjoyed this video, or you want to see, hopefully that we'll be doing more than just going and drinking beer. I mean, I like to drink the beer, but I don't think it makes the most exciting video. Um, if you enjoy watching it though, and you enjoy the concept, if you've made it this far and you listen to the concept and you think, yes, I'd watch something of that nature, there's a lot you can do to support what I'm doing. I hope that you will. I also hope that no one will who can't afford it. You know, this is why I hate this sort of please support me thing that we've gotten into. But this is the way it works now, and I'm reaching out to people out there who do have the ability to support, who say I've got $5, just don't know what to do with it. You can send it this way. You can click on that PayPal link at the top of my the banner of my YouTube channel, and you can contribute money there. If you don't want to contribute money, or you can't, or you're not that convinced, that's all fine. But if you're still watching, you must at least want to hit the like button. And at this point, I feel like it's okay to say you like this video. So go ahead and hit the like button. If you'd like to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. It's somewhere. Oh wait, it's going to be at the end screen. Hit it at the end screen. You can subscribe there. Well, what is it? Like, subscribe, donate, and watch the next video. There's going to be a suggestion that you watch the next video, and I'm making it now. You should watch the next video. If you've gotten this far and you're not tired yet, watch that next video. I'm tapping the screen because I don't have high technology. I also want to thank everybody. Thank you to the viewers. Thank you to Pasteur Street Brewing Company for hosting this lovely mid-afternoon stream. Well, I'm only on the fourth beer here. The last one was a pale ale. I'm sure it'll be lovely. but there's another live stream tomorrow, I should say. Like, subscribe, watch the next video, all of those things. And also, don't forget there is another live stream tomorrow. Scott's going to be there for that one. And we're going to be doing beer ahoy, which is also beer, because I just can't get enough beer and I can't schedule things sensibly. We're going to be going out for beer tomorrow night, but it's going to be beer and dinner, and I'll be joined by someone, so the conversation will be much more interesting, as it always is when there's guests joining. All right, thanks a lot, guys, for watching. See you in the next